Hi everyone, this is Ting from Ting Yuan Art. Thank you for joining me. And today I'm going to talk about something different. Usually I talk about my art, about life and dreams, and about things that I go through in life. But today I'm going to talk about my commercial work. Now today is a very dark day in Digby, Nova Scotia. It's raining and I have a lot of lights set up, but it's still not the best. Sorry about that, but we shall start. Okay, so when I was living in Golden, BC, there's a lot of tourists there. So tourists from all over the world because I lived in the Rockies and I was close to all these national parks. So it was absolutely stunning place. And every summer we got to see tourists from all over the world coming in. So at that time I was selling my figurative artwork. As you know, I am more of a figurative artist and I paint about life, dreams, and it's very much a journal. So because of all the tourists that I was getting in Golden, BC, I decided that I was going to make a line specifically for the tourists in Golden. And Golden, because of it's close to the national parks, we had so many beautiful animals, especially bears. We saw a lot of bears there. And I started painting about bears and also things that really represent that area. For example, like moose, Inishuk. Inishuk, if you don't know what they are, they're actually stacks of rocks that the First Nations would put up that is actually about navigation. So the First Nation would actually put up pieces of rock, stack them up. They look like little people, like this piece here. They look like little people. They're a stack of rocks, and they're called Inukshuk. And it's basically the First Nation people would put them up when they're traveling. So they're telling people this is a safe place to travel and there's water and food. So it's a great indicator, and therefore I call it the navigator. And I will show you my first few lines to the paintings on canvas, acrylic on canvas. For example, this one is called Peekaboo. Peekaboo is about a bear that lives in the refuge in Golden, BC. He was a bear that was actually rescued. His mother was killed by a poacher, and he was one of the two bears that got rescued. It was him and his sister, and they were rescued and brought to Golden in the refuge. They took care of him and his sister, but unfortunately his sister passed away due to, I believe she had a defect in her bodies and she died from that. And Boo remained in Golden, BC. And this is actually about my experience in Golden. As you can see, the Boo is actually in his pool of water and he's waving up in the gondola. And the gondola is actually my experience with my husband. We were traveling up the gondola and we saw Boo down in the pool of water where his little area where he lives, his habitat, and we got up and we looked at Boo and we're like, oh my goodness, that's Boo, look at him. And he actually looked up at us and he waved to us. So that was my experience with Boo. Okay, and Boo is a beautiful grizzly bear, a huge bear, and he's so cute and he loves to roll around. And on his birthday, they actually got him cake made of fruits and all of that. And he would actually, I heard that his keeper was actually saying that he didn't even eat the whole thing all at once. He actually took a little bite at a time, so he really took his time to enjoy it. And so the painting started with paintings on canvas. So this one's called Peekaboo, Transformation. This is another one called The Guardian. This is a First Nation inspired piece. As you can see, the patterns of the boat and the tent. And of course the moon is more of a First Nation moon. This is the Inishuk I was talking to you about, the navigator. And I also have the ancestral connection. Now these are totem poles. The First Nation actually used them to show their ancestors, how they're the rank of their ancestors. And sometimes you'll see the totem poles that's been carved, that you'll see little animals on them, and that's usually their family pets. And this one has a little baby. on there. And then there's eagles and thunderbird. So they're all very symbolic because First Nation culture really believe in symbolism in your work, which I love because my work, my figurative artwork, is very symbolic and it's all about using symbolism to tell stories. Now I've got this lighting here that light bulb is just one of them is not working very well. Sorry, it's still a little dark for my preference. And so for the bears, I'll show you what we did to them. My business partner, my life partner, Paul, and I decided to do little wordings on them. So we did this. These are little prints, actually. They're giclée prints. And it says Peekaboo and Golden BC. So Paul did all the fonts, the write-ups, not the write-ups, but all the fonts and the graphics. And for transformation, we did Golden BC Backyard. The original of this one is sold, so I couldn't show you, but this one's called Gone Fishing, Golden BC. This is one of my favorite painting of bears. This is a Thompson River, and that is a beautiful spot around Golden BC. It's called Gone Fishing because if you notice that the little bears actually have all these little fish over here. They've gone fishing and they're taking a little break. This line is, I've got this one here. The good omen, because the First Nation believe if you see a bear, it's actually a very good omen. And I've got this one. That's a goat. We do have mountain goats in between Golden to Banff. There's lots of mountain goats there. Then I have the wolf. And it says Explore Golden BC. And a moose here. Explore Golden BC. And that series of 4, actually, the originals was purchased by a lady, and she gave them to her husband for Christmas. Then, as you can see, that's the ancestral connection. So that's the poster. I did one of the Dreamcatcher as well. It's called Dare to Dream. I'm not sure if you know the story of Dreamcatchers, but First Nation believe that when you dream, if you have bad dreams, it will be caught in the web of the dream catcher. And then, actually, the good dreams will be captured in the web, and the bad dreams will go through the little web in the middle, and it'll just free you from nightmares. Then I've got this one. So what we did with these line is that we make products with them. So we made prints, giclée prints. We also make t-shirts, like for instance, I'm wearing a Peekaboo t-shirt right now. And we also did some bags as well, tote bags and magnets. We sold a lot of them. We sold a lot of t-shirts, tote bags as well. This one, don't have the wordings on this one. It's called a Navigator. The reason why I don't have the wordings on this one is because I have, when Paul and I left Golden BC, we actually sold the entire line to the Golden Museum. So they bought the t-shirts and all the tote bags, the prints, and all the magnets. And we didn't have cards made yet, but so the line is completely sold to them. So that's a good thing. And I'm very happy with this line because it actually did do really well for us when we were in Golden. And it's fun, when you're doing something when you can use your creativity to make products and make commercial products. It's just such I would say it's such an honor to have an artistic talent, because with an artistic talent, you can do so much with it. So if you're an artist, think about things you can do. Perhaps you live in a town that is touristy, like the place that I lived in Golden. Or perhaps you live somewhere that you think that they could use some interesting products that you could design. For instance, let's say if here in Digby, it's Nova Scotia. It's all about boats, fishing, and lighthouses. You know, I could do a line of that for commercial use. It doesn't mean that you have to forget about the focus of what you actually focus on in your main portfolio. For example, for me is the figurative artwork. But it also means that you can add products into your collection to make the business works for you. As an art business, if you think more thoroughly about how many revenue you can open, you actually need quite a few to make a really good business out of it. That's why Paul and I always make sure that we have a lot of different products. We have magnets, journals, we have prints. We also have the t-shirts, the tote bags. And we thought of doing pillowcases, but we haven't had that chance to do it yet because we are still researching on the kind of canvas pillowcases we want to work with. And the other thing you can also do is that you can license your work. So you can go with different companies to license your work. So you don't have to be the producer of these products. You can actually license them out. But when you license them out, make sure you do your research and see which company will be good to carry your work. And my products and everything else that I have done so far has done well for me. I find that, you know, sometimes people cannot afford an original, so they purchase a print, and sometimes they just want a small gift, for example, a journal or a magnet. And some of my artwork has also been created into brochures. For example, one of my work, which I will show you next time, because I am still, well, I would say I'm 3/4 unpacked, but I still have a quarter, about 10 or 12 boxes that hasn't been unpacked. But I'm looking for my old posters and things like that. For example, when I was living in Wells, my work was used as a brochure for the Sunset Theatre. And also when I was doing shows in Prince George, my artwork was also used as a brochure. And I also had my artwork used in opera production. So I was very lucky that I was chosen for these kind of work as well. And when I find them, I will show you about them. And I'll introduce you to the work of which ones have been produced into brochures and posters, and show you the posters because they're really quite fun to see them as an opera poster, and also as a show brochures, like a little booklet to show you about the art shows. And actually it's more like a booklet that tells you where all the artists are and which booths they're in. And so that's what I'm going to talk about when I do find them. So thank you so much for joining me, and I'm glad that you're here. And I hope that these will give you an idea about what you should do about your art. So don't just produce art for just, for art's sake. Also produce art for some of the commercial sake, because commercial art does really well for where you live. And if you're interested in making your art into a business, please join my Facebook group. It's called Creating a Profitable Art Business, and I will put the link above when I'm finished with this video. And I will teach you different ways of making art into a business, because I've been doing it for 20 years and successfully at it. I've enjoyed doing it very much because it's creative. Not only is creative, I wake up every morning thinking what I can create, what I can do to make this business better and better and let it grow. Business is a life force, remember that. So, when you own your own art business, you can always tweak it. Whenever it's not working well for you, tweak it and see what is it that, can make your business more successful. And you will find that the more you tweak it, the more you think about it, try out different things, because not everything's going to work out perfectly for you, and have fun. So here again, we have the Peekaboo and the transformation paintings, and we've got the Guardian, Inishuk, which is the navigator, and the ancestral connection. So these are all commercial work for Golden BC. Again, if you're interested in making into business, please come and join me at Creating a Profitable Art Business. I will put the link up there, and it's a free Facebook group, and I will teach you step by step how to do it, and it will be fun. It's a great community. There's a lot of artists in there, and I think you'll enjoy it. Okay, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next week.